Hey everyone, my name is Eric and we are researching with Project Apario today. Let's take a look at the Seth Rich files, which actually are the highest density viewed collection set on Project Apario. Most viewed is the JFK files, but there's a lot more records there. So once we find Seth Rich, for those of you who don't know, Seth Rich was the director of the Democratic National Committee's voter expansion data efforts. And on July 10th of 2016, early morning, Bloomingdale neighborhood, he was murdered by a, quote, botched robbery that resulted in no items of monetary value being stolen from his person and surviving the attack. Rich died, however, in the hospital following a visit from Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Congresswoman from Florida, and Donna Brazile, DWS's replacement as DNC chairwoman following the death of Seth Rich, though not in response to the death of Seth Rich. We have 142 pages of Freedom of Information requested emails. So let's take a look at those. You could also stumble into them. So we have these two documents here. The second is of less interest than the first, so let's open the first. And the question right away when this happened was, who killed Seth Rich, and if that could be determined, who might have ordered those folks to have killed him. Of course, like many government documents, right away we see the reason for withholding or redaction, because there's an incredible amount of redaction in this particular record set. And I think what I'd like to do first is jump right away to page 11, where we have an email. We're not sure who exactly it's from, but someone at the FBI Washington Field Office in Public Affairs says, "I hope you are well. I heard from the front office that you are covering for ASAC Redacted this week. Various news outlets are reporting today that Julian Assange suggested during a recent overseas interview that DNC staffer Seth Rich was a WikiLeaks source and may have been killed because he leaked the DNC emails to his organization." Those emails, by the way, are also available on Project Apario for your enjoyment. And that WikiLeaks was offering $20,000 for information regarding Rich's death last month. Based on this news, we anticipate additional press coverage on this matter. I hear that you are in a class today. However, when you have a moment, can you please give me a call to discuss what involvement the Bureau has in the investigation? So right away, there was a lot of scrambling, which we probably can get into in later parts of this same series, whereby if any information was going to get out there regarding the hints that Assange had put here, those needed to be squashed or covered up, right? Because this is a big deal if in fact Seth Rich is the WikiLeaks source. And so what drew me in next was less so the next 100 pages of emails, although we can backtrack to those. But as an introduction to this series, I think I want to jump ahead to the very last few emails. You can see quite a few redactions in these emails. Those are the white boxes. That's your government for you, folks. But it is interesting to take a peek back in time, because again, this was now coming up on, July 10th, 2016, and here we are in September of 22. So we have progressed from there. However, these storylines are still playing out. So I'm scrolling down to the bottom here and storyline still playing out. Julian Assange still being held. by the British at the behest of the Americans, I believe. So more to come on that as well. But let's take a look at a few of these emails here at the back end. So again, asking the question, who killed Seth Rich, or who had him murdered? If Seth was indeed the WikiLeaks source, that would give possibly some motive for someone stateside to have called for this. This particular email from RSMSC on Thursday, August 30th of 18. So we're 2 years later now. Subject line, pedophile Bob Mueller sent Seth Rich hitman after Manafort lawyer. And we have sent the same hitman he used on Seth Rich to help his friend Hillary, ... after redacted line. Next email is also from 2018 August with the subject line of Mueller's crooked lawyers investigating judge and jury and their extended families. Mueller, who arranged the assassination of Seth Rich through his mafia friends. 4 dots, is a psychopath capable of any crime. So this is from redacted to RSMC. So there's some suggestion that Robert Mueller could be involved here. This is forwarded. Mueller had Seth Rich murdered. He had the means and the motive and the intel. Once again, redacted to from here. Would be nice to know. Would be nice to know. Once again, a redacted from. Now we're backtracking to July 23rd. The previous email was from August. Subject, we think Mueller planned the execution of Seth Rich. Mueller has access to plenty of hitmen who owe him and ready cash. And that old bean counter Mueller is a rabid Trump hater and one of the most despicable human beings. So again, this is 2 years later. Remember, July 10th of 2016, 4:20 in the morning was the attempted robbery, or the botched robbery, in quotes, of Seth Rich, and he later died in a hospital. So the next email, again, this one is from RSMSC to we don't know. And this is a forwarded message. Who knows hitmen better than Robert Mueller? That's the same email. And now we have a forwarded redacted message here with the subject, haha, Mueller arranged the murder of Seth Rich. So is there another explanation? From to RKD AAW Special Counsel ZNA EBP Special Counsel Press redacted and RSMSC subject line crooked Mueller or Mueller has name of hitman. Clinton's hired to murder Seth Rich. Crooked Miller says he would have done same thing, hired a hitman. So were the Clintons involved? Was this a message being sent to anyone else who might have information about this? And this final email here, backtracking to June of 2018 regarding Seth Rich's work laptop. Russia, May 2017, redacted with Perkins Coie provided San Francisco FBI with a copy of Seth Rich's DNC laptop. The FBI submission document says the laptop was given to the FBI voluntarily, so I am assuming that there is no search warrant for the laptop. San Francisco provided redacted, for us at SEO, redacted. Thank you, redacted. Well, I think you can get a taste of the power of Freedom of Information Act requests for emails such as these. even when the government goes to the lengths that they did here to redact so much important information, because we get a bit of insight, we get some clues, we see, even if we don't know who an email is from, we see how it's written. It provides us some more questions and leads to look into. And this really is a big one here with Seth Rich. I mean, think about on the Democrat and the Republican side. This could really bring down the House if it's understood how this was done. If there really was some kind of a hit, if either of the two men who were involved in the botched robbery, I believe it was two men, could be discovered, that might be, a lead to follow back to the folks who may have hired this hit, possibly in response to the indications that Julian Assange gave that Seth Rich might have been that WikiLeaks source for those Clinton emails. Well, you can take a look for yourself at this entire record set over here on projectapario.com, where documents like Freedom of Information Act, as well as D-Class from the government, will be available for you. And there's much, much more to dig into, obviously, with this Seth Rich case here. As you can see, I'm scrolling back up all of the emails that we skipped over. But you can also see the power of the world's truth repository proof of concept here on Project Apario. And if you're interested in supporting the project, you can do so by becoming a subscriber over there at projectapario.com. And until next time, this is Eric Van Mechelen. Take care.